Okay, so for my applied assignment, I chose the CNI, which is a group, as a nonprofit that I helped when we were raising puppies to become seeing eye dogs for those who are visually impaired, and then my mom's nerve disease, which is complex regional pain syndrome. And the full definition for that is a chronic pain, typically in an arm or leg, that starts after an injury. She had gotten it when she was a paramedic, and then ended up getting hurt on the job, and now it started in her right shoulder, went down to her right arm, was in her right leg, and the left leg coming up. Eventually she will be in a wheelchair, but she has some things. She has 2 TENS units in her back, one in her back, one in her neck, that will kind of help stop the progression of the nerve disease, and then she gets nerve blocks as well. So for the pre-work, the topic was focusing on those with less visible disabilities and those who might need a service dog. Growing up with my mom having this injury wasn't easy. When she got her handicap placard, I remember we would always get looks and stuff at the store, because yes, she can walk fine, but sometimes for a while she had a crutch and a boot, and she has to limit what she can do. And then on the side, we would raise seeing eye dogs. And the aspect of inclusion for that, I chose housing, education, social services, transportation. So when I was doing the pre-work, I figured I would add pictures of the dogs that we raised. We raised 5 of them. Then for when I did my interview, I showed my mom, obviously. Since she has the complex regional pain syndrome, she has first-hand experience with this nerve disease, since it does struggle. She struggles with it every day, and it took a while for her to get the proper treatment. To put a picture of my mom in my bed. So I asked her questions, and wrote down her answers, and it was easy, since I still live at home, trying to move out. But growing up still wasn't easy, because she was in a lot of pain before she got her treatment. She missed out on a lot, which sucked, but it's okay. So the course materials that I chose was the article that was why employers don't hire people with disabilities, and I thought it was very informative on the topic of companies and why they actually benefit from hiring those with different disabilities, and this could help with my topic involving the seeing eye dogs. And then another one I chose was people with invisible disabilities, Fight for Understanding, because it really highlighted the topic of invisible disabilities and the struggles of those individuals who deal with it every day, and repetitive accusation of not having a disability just because it's not visible. I remember when my mom was getting her disability, we were followed around by people trying to catch her in the act in case she was blind or something. So that was pretty crazy growing up. But a lot of people didn't fully believe her because she wasn't an obvious disability. It was kind of crazy. And then the research I chose when it came to the seeing eye dogs was when your eyes have a wet nose, and there's evolution of the use of guide dogs in establishing the seeing eye. So the seeing eye is actually on the East Coast. It started in Morrisville, New Jersey. Since they started, I forget what year they opened. They average about 260 matches, dog, handler, aka visually impaired person, a year. And since it was 1929, they've helped over 18,000 people receive a guide dog. It's pretty cool. And then the other article was honest work done by honest dogs, canine employment, interspecies rehabilitation, and disability performance. It also goes over beneficial seeing eye dogs have become. And then the research I did for the complex regional pain syndrome was complex visual pain syndrome type 1, which is RSC, or I don't really know how to pronounce the second one. And then it was the spinal cord stimulation for complex regional pain syndrome, which is like a TENS unit, which is what my mom has in her back and her neck that help with the pain. If you ever use the TENS unit, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but it's embedded in her nerves, in her spine. It's kind of crazy. They both were about the disease she has and how it helps you gain a better understanding overall of the disease and ways it can be managed or treated, which can improve overall their way of life. Evidence. I did the interview. My mom agreed to be interviewed in the interview stuff. And the evidence are the first dog we raised, which was Beatrice, the yellow lab, and the second one is Fortune, the black lab, the second one. Our third one was a German Shepherd named Penny. We have adopted her since she got booted from the program because she had a lot of food allergies. The fourth dog was a Robin, which she was retired and we got her back. And then we raised her first puppy, Dusty. I'm not sure exactly where she is and what she's doing. She's out there doing it. So new learning connects with course material because it went over universal design to make it more obvious how many places are not very suitable for those with a service dog. And then when we went over stereotypical opinions, it opened my eyes how easily others are to accuse someone of not having a disability just because they can't see it. And then I was able, so I'm going to try to look to more options for the CPRS instead of just the TENS unit, and how much it actually takes to get paired with a seeing eye dog. I can always ask my mom's doctor about different treatment options. My boyfriend's mom actually just got one implanted. She has Parkinson's, so it can kind of help with that. Then a question for everyone: has anyone ever heard of complex regional pain syndrome before? And have you ever seen a seeing eye dog working out in the world? So yeah, that was my assignment. Thank you for listening, watching. Everyone have a good rest of your night.